Welcome back. It's Suoiverp here with our Let's Play series, and as you can tell by the animals behind me, today we're going to be working with sheep and building a wool farm. So this is going to give us lots and lots of wonderful wool that we can put to good uses, such as in building beds to do bed bombing and use that in the nether to collect a bunch of ancient debris. We can use the wool to make carpets. We can use the wool for many purposes. We can even use them for building blocks. And yeah, it'll be great to have a ready supply of wool. Right now, we don't really have much at all other than the animals you see behind me right here. Otherwise, our sheep consists of one black sheep stuck in the bamboo over there and one white sheep stuck in with the cows. That's all we've got. So time to get this rolling. Give me just a second and I'll show you what I'm standing on right here and give you a little bit of a preview of what we're going to build today. All right, working our way up from the bottom, we've got a hopper going into a chest, and on top of that hopper is a hopper minecart. This is going to pull blocks through the grass block that's above the hopper minecart. And we've got a piece of glass here just so that we can open the chest, and a couple of spruce planks that could be any building block of your choice. And behind this, we're going to put another one in just a second. I just left it off for a moment so you can see there is an observer here that's facing into this grass block. We'll look at that from above in just a minute, but for now we'll go ahead and stick that back there. Next layer up, we have a 3x3 area of grass with another block, any block of your choice in the back. On top of that, there is a piece of redstone. So let's get up there and see what we can see. We have a little glass enclosure here that's 2 blocks tall. I've got a trapdoor up on top of it, and that redstone sends a signal into this dropper or dispenser. Which one is it? It's the dispenser. I always have to. You got to use a dispenser. A dropper, we'll get to that in a second. So what you do is you stick a sheep right here in the middle, and when the sheep eats the grass, the observer detects that the grass has changed to dirt and fires a redstone signal into this piece of redstone dust, which then causes the dispenser to fire. And what you want to do is put a pair of shears inside the dispenser. You can put up to 9 shears inside of this dispenser. It's got an inventory space of its own, and that will cause the sheep to become sheared, and it will drop the wool on the ground. The wool will then go into the minecart with the hopper minecart, which will then drop the wool into the hopper and into the chest. So the reason that you have to use a dispenser rather than a dropper is because a dropper will literally shoot the shears out whenever the redstone signal fires. So if you build something like this and you find the shears laying on the ground or ending up in your chest at the end, that's because you've used a dropper instead of a dispenser. So it drops the item instead of using the item. So you might notice what we don't have here, other than the shears, is the sheep. This part is not fun. Getting animals to get into this one by one hole can be a little tricky. So use wheat. You already got their attention all the way from over here. And another thing that can make this easier is using a lead. You can also build this a little bit higher so that you kind of nudge them in from the side against some blocks instead of trying to get them centered. Sometimes it's helpful if you just stick some temporary blocks in the corners just to give yourself a little bit more space. And I probably will remove this trapdoor while I'm doing this and just put it back when I'm done. And the reason for the trapdoor is not so the sheep will get out, but rather so I never fall in. Because once you're in, you're stuck just like the sheep. So yeah, I'm going to give this a shot and we'll see how it goes. There we go, one sheep in. Wasn't too bad. I'll give you a little tip on what worked for me just now. I kept the lead and brought some spruce planks over here, and I hooked onto a sheep and pillared up with the spruce planks to get the sheep up and over the fence. So that way you can remove one animal from a pen area without freeing them all. And then you just grab the wheat and lead them on up anywhere. As long as they can see a path to you, they will follow you up. As you can see, I've already got this guy here, so we don't actually need to get this one right now, but we'll get him in a minute into the next one once I've created a spot for it. But add just some steps up and drop him in right there. So that worked pretty well. I've already tossed a couple of shears in the dispenser, and we have, as you can tell, already sheared the sheep automatically. So that's going well. This grass block here indicates where the next hopper is going to go. So because this 3x3 space can overlap with the one next to it, we don't actually need another 3x3. Essentially, there, you know, two more sets of 3 blocks. So the first one's 3x3, and then after that, it's 2 wide by 3 deep, plus the one at the back. But in terms of grass blocks, we only need to put 6 more grass blocks here, and can put the sheep directly above this block here. So I'll show you what that looks like just in a minute here. I did want to toss a couple of trapdoors on here just for decoration. I don't know exactly how I'm going to make this look later on. Probably will do something other than what I'm doing right here, but for now this will work. Just kind of block this out a little bit so it's not all, so it'll have kind of a flat face to it. And we could replace this glass block with something like a stair so that we're not peeking in on the hopper minecart, but it doesn't really matter very much. And I haven't decided if I want to keep the spruce or go with something else. In any event, for now, this will do just temporarily. And then I'm sticking the wool up here and the carpet out front. I haven't decided which one I want to use, whether it's both or just one, to indicate the color of the sheep. So when you're on Java Edition, you can't tell when a sheep has been sheared, what color the sheep is. In Bedrock Edition, however, once you have a sheared sheep, the little dots, the little spots on the sheep indicate the color that the, where are you going? That the wool is going to be. Oh wow, okay, you just living on the edge. All right, just don't fall. So yeah, we don't necessarily need the wool here to indicate the, did it? Oh, okay. I thought it just jumped. I thought their pathfinding wouldn't let them do that, but you never know. Sheep in Minecraft are no smarter than sheep in real life, which are, they're not known for being the most intelligent animals. I mean, beautiful face right there, but head full of rocks. Anyway, so what I might do is use a different color wool for each sheep that I've got that has a different color of wool it is going to drop, so we can tell what we've got in the chests without opening them. And in order to dye all of the sheep different colors, we've got a bunch of items in this chest here, and I'm going to talk through these all in a bit more detail, but the gist of it is that you can turn items in Minecraft into dyes. This is the only one that's already been turned into a dye. The rest of them you can turn into dye in the crafting table. And I've also got a couple of other ones here that are gotchas, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But for now, we'll come back to that later. After we've got all the sheep in, we will start coloring them, dyeing them different colors. But I'm going to go ahead and start building the next little cells, whatever you want to call them, little modules that we're going to keep our sheep in. So bring you back in a minute. All right, pulled another sheep out and built the second one here. Thought we would do the next one together. Once this sheep is out of the way, that'll be a little easier. So put our chests in here, remove this dirt, crouch and put a hopper there. Crouch again and put a rail right here. It doesn't matter which direction the rail is facing. We'll just put the minecart with hopper on that, and then we need our pickaxe. We're gonna crouch right here, get real careful with the angle. What you're looking for is the hitbox of the rail. So right, not there, right, where'd it go? Let's try it from this side. Right there. If you don't hit that, then you'll hit either the hopper or the minecart, but this gives you what you want. So we've got that in place. We'll put, let's see, guess we want a wood block here. We want one here. We don't need this corner one. But then we're going to put the grass that the sheep will stand on. The observer is going to go right there, so we don't need grass right there, but we do need grass here, here. And the reason we surround this with grass is because even though technically all you need is the one in the middle, grass spreads. So the more grass blocks that you have around the grass that you want to regrow, around the, I guess, the dirt after the sheep takes a bite, then the faster that grass underneath the sheep is going to grow. The only block that they're going to eat off of is the one they can reach, not the ones under the glass. So the whole purpose of the rest of it is just to cause that one under their feet to grow back faster from dirt into grass. Okay, so we've got the observer on there. We need the dispenser. We need some more glass, and we need the redstone. Let's put this glass up front to help hold this in place, and then make a little stair step for ourselves up to here. So this is where the sheep's going to stand. So we need this here, here, and then the dispenser here. Just going to crouch. I don't think I need to crouch right there, but I do need to get up here and crouch. There we go. And then the redstone dust. So I need another block back here to behind to put this on. There we go. We do need to make a couple of shears. Put those in here. And we are now fully operational on the next. Oh, you see that one fire? That sheep just ate and then got sheared. That happened a time or two. Also, I guess one other time. So now we got 4 off from that one, already 16 from that one. And this one's ready to go for the next sheep. So all we have to do is get him up in there. Piece of cake. Piece of cake. What could go wrong? Let's see. We want trapdoor, wheat, and a lead. Come here. How long could it take? No more than a few seconds, right? We do want to stick. Just makes walking around a bit easier. We'll take those out eventually. All right, so you go there. So I find crouching oh, look at that. That was so quick. And then we just let that lead drop down. All right. Now we're good to go with 3 of them. Wonderful. We'll put, I thought we had more, yeah, more trapdoors, plenty more trapdoors. And then another trapdoor up on top, right here. Great. We'll do that on another couple and just repeat the same process as many times as you want. Right now we're going to end up with a lot of white wool, but we will be dyeing them different colors and even checking into a special treat for how you can get multicolored rainbow sheep that just keep changing colors all the time. A little Minecraft Easter egg. So we'll check that out in just a few minutes. Okay, we've got our 8 sheep set up on this side and all in their pens. Everything's working well. 8 more spots on the other side, all set up and ready to go. No sheep in there yet, but we'll get to that later on. And now about dyes. Let's talk about dyes. So in this chest, I've got an ink sac, which can be turned into black dye. We don't have any wither roses, which is the other source for black dye. Then we can turn lapis lazuli and cornflowers into blue dye. We can turn cocoa beans into brown dye. And if we smelt a cactus in a furnace, then we get green dye. And we can turn poppies or rose bushes or beetroots or red tulips, which I don't think I have any of. All of those can be turned into red dye. Then we have a couple sources for white dye, being bone meal and lily of the valley, this specific flower. However, oxeye daisies and white tulips look like they would turn into white dye. However, they turn into light gray dye. So just be aware, even though this one says white in the name and this one shows quite a lot of white on the flower, they're not sources for white dye. And then we have dandelions as a source for yellow dye, and you can use sunflowers for those as well. So why these in particular? These 7 colors are the sort of foundational or fundamental colors in Minecraft. So let's go ahead and grab a bunch of these. We won't smelt the cactus, since what we actually need here is a crafting table. So you can see that we can turn this black dye, this ink sac into black dye. We can turn the lapis into blue dye. We can turn this into brown dye. We got our poppy here. We've got our lily of the valley and our dandelion. So Once you've got all of these 7 colors, you can turn them into other colors by combining them. So gray dye can be black and white combined, orange with red and yellow, lime from green and white, cyan from blue and green, light blue from blue and white, purple from red and blue, and pink from red and white. That's going to give us all of the combinations that we need. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've already got these 7. So what are we missing? Something is missing. Might think about that for a minute. I think what we've got to do is combine a couple of colors in these to get the remaining 2 colors. So that would be, let's see, I think the magenta one is like purple and pink. So those 2 have to be first made and then recombined to get your final color. And then what else is there? I think it's we got orange, we got pink. Let's type dye, magenta, and then light gray. Yeah, so light gray you can get a few different ways. You can get it by doing 2 whites and a black, like it says in the crafting recipe. You can also use a white dye and a gray dye. So if we made the gray dye, then you could use one of those and one another white. So essentially, it's like right these 2 combine to make light gray, or sorry, to make gray, and then you add one more white to it to make light gray. So you would put a gray and a white to make a light gray, or you could just use one of those other flowers to get your quick source for that as well. Also, although these are possible through combinations, some of these can also be arrived at more directly. So lime dye you can get from sea pickles. The magenta, which is the purple and pink, there's a couple of flowers which I think we have, if I recall, the allium. Yeah, it's that like tallish, not tall like 2 blocks tall, but it's like straight purple one. And then lilacs as well are another flower that you can get magenta dye from. So a lot of ways to get the dye colors. A lot of them have, by combining these sort of foundational, fundamental colors. Others by just changing specific flowers. So peonies are another pink flower that you can turn into pink dye. I think there's also pink tulips. I don't think we have any of those, but uh, yeah. So what we want to do eventually is get all of the 16 colors and have sheep of every color in here. Now, there's some really unique thing that we've not talked about yet, which is these name tags. So if you name tag a sheep, and let me actually get, did I put the shears in here? Where did I? Don't have them in here. I must have put them away. Oh yeah, look at that. There's lots of shears. Okay, so if I just shear a sheep, I'm going to get white dye because it's a white sheep. If I name tag a sheep and the name tag name says JEB underscore, it's a Jeb sheep. Now it's going to turn rainbow colors. Super cool to look at, and even after you shear it, the colors in Bedrock Edition are visible on the sheared sheep. So it's really fun. I like how colorful it is, and it's going to take us a little bit to get all of the dyes in here. So maybe we'll toss a couple of Jeb sheep in, but just be aware that what you get out of it. So let's jump over this fence right here real quick, and uh, what you get out of it is the color the sheep was before you name tagged it. So if I shear this sheep, I'm still getting white wool, even though it looks so multicolored, and even though the time when I shear it, it may not be white, right? I didn't shear it right when it turned white. It was a different color looking as I sheared it. Uh, yeah, so just be aware that that's how that works. We're going to use one of these carpets to get ourselves out of here because I left all my tools in the chest over there. So yeah, we'll throw a couple of Jeb sheep in the side over here just for fun and work on dyeing all of them. I'll probably just do that in between episodes, and I'll also throw the rest of the sheep in here in between. One open question that we should talk about is what happens if you want to dye a sheep? Can you dye it when it's sheared? So let's shared non-jeb sheep like this one here, can we dye this guy while he's not got wool? And the answer is, I'm clicking on him right now, I cannot dye him or her while it's sheared. So you've got to dye it when it's not sheared. So yeah, like when it's got wool on it. All right, so that's just something to be aware of. And again, like I said a little bit ago, after you shear a sheep in Bedrock Edition, it does still show what color the wool is going to be. The face and all the dots around it show the color of the sheep. So you can still tell what color they're going to be even after you shear them, and when they're up in their little spots, you can tell what color the sheep are. The sheep are even if they've been sheared. And I took the shears out of here so that I would be able to dye all of these sheep because I thought that was the case, that once they're sheared, you can't dye them until they grow their wool back. And so if you've got them in these little spots and they're being automatically sheared, every time they regrow their wool, they lose the wool right away, then you might just need to pop the shears out of the dispenser temporarily so that you can dye the sheep whatever color that you want to have them. All right. I think what we're going to do next is go work on that house over in the little villager spot over there. So let me put away what I've got here and put back my gear, and we'll pick it up from there. So we want to take this offer, break sign to accept deal. 7x7 house. Great. Okay. Well, I guess we don't need that. We just stick that in there. Glasses, you are a librarian. This is going to be your house, I think. I want to start by lowering the floor a little bit. So a 7x7 interior is going to be 5x5, and we're going to make this an oak slab floor. And when we do that, I think what I want to do is just take a couple spots here. We don't actually need this many. Maybe we'll just do one in this side and one over there. So put some torches like down here, and then we'll slab over everything. If we make the floor out of slabs, yeah, that's not enough. Doop, doop. Then I think we'll make the rooftop also out of oak and make the walls out of stone and some other blocks like stone. So if we put this here, we're going to have like a little trim on the outside. So does that go there? Yes, it goes like so. Oopsie. Then we'll kind of stair step, not that way. Stair step the roof up to the pointed top. So let's see, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the roof. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then stair. And we'll just do this with these right now since we don't have the other blocks on us. Just to find where the middle is, it's going to be right there. That didn't work at all, did it? This is why we brought scaffolding. Right. Gracious. Oh well, that one's going to go away too. And like so, upside down, right side up. And then between them, we'll put an upside down one going that way. And I don't know, maybe like so. Oh, that's, yeah. So that'll be replaced by some stone stairs. And then we'll put lower slabs so nothing spawns on lower half slabs. And then like so again. We'll just extend this out. The rest of the way. Do the same on the other sides. Not like that. Ouch. And up here. 2, 3, 4. Stair. I've heard various building advice. Some people really, really like putting in the roof before they put in walls. Other people have just the opposite opinion of the right order of doing things. And I haven't really decided. So I experiment a little bit just to see, try to figure out what I like best. Not like that. That's not what I like best. We're going to need more slabs, aren't we? Boop. And this corner as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like so. All right, let me just not make you watch all the roof building. This is gonna take a little bit of time. Back in a sec. It doesn't look like much of a house yet, more like a shack or a little open air shed, but we've got the roof in place. And now we're gonna start by filling in, or I guess next we'll fill in the walls. Gonna think a little about what sort of windows we want because we do want some visibility from inside. The way these walls are, we're thinking probably just one right here, or do we want to do two? Let's see. Could do like one here and one here. That could work. Let's continue filling in and see how it feels. Let's see, and then on this side, we're gonna need to also go up a little bit to fill in that top bit. And then I'm thinking on this side, we do the doorway here, off-centered. And that is so that we have a little bit of room for a window, because otherwise, if we center the door, then there's just gonna be two blocks and then the window's gonna be spaced in a weird way. Let's see, I got a few more, about to run out of stone again. But yeah, if we go like so, then we'll have room for a window there and a door here. Make another stair and put it upside down right there. Get a few more pieces, bits and pieces of stone. Okay. Yeah, this is coming together. I like this. I did bring over some other supplies, so decorations. I was thinking about a copper roof. I think we won't go that way right now, but we will need some lighting for decorative purposes. And yeah, panes for windows. I might have to go get more glass too. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm going 2, 4. Yeah, okay. We'll need more. As well as I want to use some of these other blocks and mix them in. I think on this backside, I don't know, maybe we'll do a window that's a bit bigger. Mess around with it a little bit, and yeah, I mean, I think that's a good way of going about it, is just kind of experimenting, finding what you like. Yeah, don't use an axe. It's definitely yet less useful on stone than a pickaxe. You want to use the pickaxe. I want to use very little of the cobblestone just because the contrast there is so stark. The andesite really mixes in nicely. So we'll use a decent amount of the andesite. Yeah, like that. Here as well. The sheep is very interested in what we're doing here. As sheep are, they're very curious animals. He's probably wondering if you can pick up some building techniques, take it back home and work with it back there in the sheep pen back home. I think what we'll do up here is, did we have a bunch of stairs? Yeah, we did. Okay. Maybe we'll actually raise that, make the roof ceiling a little bit higher in here. That'd be kind of cool. Not like that, like that. Yeah, I like that better. We'll raise these up. Put stairs here. Well, no. stairs. Sometimes they do what you want, and sometimes you just click in the wrong spot. That's the outside wall, right? Yeah, so the wraparound is here. And then we can make this even higher. In fact, we could make that out of a different material, but I think that's going to work just fine. Right, all right, so it's just this corner that looks a little weird right now. Was that slabs or was that a stair? That was strange. I probably put slabs there and didn't realize what I was doing. Okay, so we're also gonna, I guess we'll take his profession block and bring it inside. All right, glasses. Well, you'll come in. Where do we want this? Maybe like so. Coming off to the side. Maybe he works here looking out towards the other villager's little house. And on this side we could put the bed. Give him a little table over here. Yeah, it's coming together. Okay, I'll poke around with this some more, and then we'll do some exterior decoration. Our librarian friend and I have been talking, and Glasses and I agree it's too gray. Just way too much gray, especially from that angle we were just looking at it. I mean, even from over here, too much gray. So as you can see right at the tippy top, I've replaced the stone slabs with some deep slate tile slabs, and I'm going to be using deep slate tile stairs in place of these stairs along the trim of the roof. So all these bits are coming down, and we'll fix that up. Let's have a look see at the interior. And here's what we've got. So a little library setup. He really likes to stand on top of his workstation. But yeah, librarian actively at work, place to sleep, place to sit and read. You know, just a pleasant little reading nook. Cows out the window. Farmer friend over there. Oh, you can even see from here over into where our stonemason, Mr. Mason, is working. So yeah, great little village start going on here. I'll replace the roof, and what else can we do? Not the roof, just that trim bit. I'd like to put some exterior lighting. I think this will work out. Not on the short sides, and then we'll do it back over here too. So there, there, here, and here, and yeah, maybe some little flower boxes. Not like that, but yeah, like this. So if we set it, so let's see, what's that going to be? Yeah, 3, and then we could stick some moss inside there. Go with a little bit of the azalea. Wow, a little bit too big maybe. Too big for in front of a window. We could do the flowering azalea off to the side and a couple poppies in here. Yeah, that's not bad. That breaks it up a bit. It's otherwise, you know, once we replace this roof trim, that'll help as well. Another thought I had is that at the same level where we have this one, or maybe even one more up, we could bring the spruce logs across. That would break it up a bit too, but I think this will do it. I don't think we need to do that extra step. Well, let's see, what else have we got? Throw some rose bushes down here maybe. Something like that, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe not. Don't want to overdo it with the azaleas. But they are nice. They're very nice. I like them. The flowering ones are so pretty. And then there's not much room on this side. We'll grab this. Boom, 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 boom. What we don't want is something for them to jump up onto and leave the village for now. Right now, they have not made this area safe. So, yeah, I think something like that'll do it. I'll fix up the roof. I do have some leaves. Maybe we add some foliage under the, that's probably a bit too much. Yeah, I'll think about that one. Probably won't do quite that much. It's yeah, it's easy to overdo it because the leaves are so big. Maybe a couple of vines? Yeah, maybe not. We'll take these back. Keep it a little bit cleaner. Bring you back once I've got the roof in place and we'll look at the final product. That is so much better. Definitely the right decision to not keep the stone trim. You like it? Wow, standing in the flowers. Let's check the backside here. Yeah. I like it. Looks stellar. Great. Well, I think that is a job well done, which means we can pick up our payment. Oh yeah, diamonds. All right, let's take these into the shop and see what we can do in here. I went ahead and got some crops because I do want, let's see, carrots and potatoes. That'll net us another couple diamonds. Wheat for sale. Yeah, I'll take some of that. There you go. And stone. I'm buying this out one time. Yeah, 5 stacks. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so another couple. There we go. All right. Appreciate the business. Look, we walked away with 5 diamonds and a whole ton of stuff. And they have a nicer house now. Yeah, this is looking nice in here. Oh man. Well, let's see. Does that do it for today? Yeah, I think it does. I think that's it. I'm gonna dye the sheep and get them all into their correct pens, and maybe we'll check in on them first thing next time, see how that's going. And who knows what we'll do? Maybe, like I've been saying for a while now, nether bed bombing, ancient debris stuff. Maybe we'll go exploring. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what we're feeling like. One last look before we sign off. With all the wool colors in, all the sheep in their little spots, everybody fully dyed and fully functioning. The only ones that are a little bit strange looking are cyan and blue here because those are our Jeb sheep. But as you can see from the chest, they are still dropping the colors that we would expect them to drop now that we've dyed those sheep. So there you go, fully functional wool farm, all 16 colors, and white, since we had it running the longest, we had the bunch of sheep, we have tons of wool. So that'll serve us well. All right, actually signing off this time. Bye-bye.